Hey, I'm Laura Hanson. I am a certified high-performance coach. In other words, I'm a life coach, but in the realest terms, I'm just somebody who loves to try and figure out a better way of living. I've been through a lot of hardships in my past, but I've also realized that there's never an end in the hardship. There's always the better that comes after it. So I've really tried to focus on what am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? How can I do the wrong things better? And how can I just feel good in life without having to wait for those good moments, right? Because we know that life is not ever going to be this perfect trajectory up. We know that life is going to be that roller coaster, that up and downs. Like, I'm not telling you anything new right now, but the perspective I want to offer you is from my coaching career, but also from my former career in law enforcement and also on the SWAT team. See, most people are just trying to figure out how to live life when it comes down to it. You know, people want to figure out, how can I do things better, more efficiently? How can I make more money? How can I be happier? And that really drives them into certain behaviors. But as we know, not all behaviors are going to be those that are really conducive to setting us up for future success that's sustainable. A lot of our behaviors, a lot of our actions tend to be geared towards this short-term happiness, towards this, I gotta have it right now. And where most people struggle in life is getting dialed in on one task or one objective in their personal life or professional life without taking a look at the broad picture of saying, how is this going to affect my overall life? And also, people don't realize how much agency or control they have over the direction of their life. And the reason why they think this is because they've seen how life happens to them. And they let life happen to them rather than shifting the perspective to see life is happening for you. And your response is all about whether or not this life becomes enjoyable for you in the moment, right? Because I'm not the type of person that says, hey, let's wait until your deathbed to say, did you live a good life? No, I want your Sunday through Sunday to be a good life. I want you to wake up and say, hey, this is a hard day, but there is ways that I can improve it and make it better. Hey, this is a very hard objective that I'm working towards, but it's doable if I could figure out who to bring into it. So the reason that getting coached can help you with my particular program, which I mentioned before is high performance coaching, is everything is structured and it's based on the 5 habits that are essential for anyone who wants to sustain progress in their life. And again, that could be progress in an objective of a goal, or it could be progress and sustainability in feeling good, right? So there's no such thing as the perfect life, but there is a way to measure things such as your clarity, your energy, your productivity, your courage, and your influence on other people. And you'll find as you work with me in my coaching program that as you gain more clarity about who you are and the direction that you want to head in life, and also gain more perspective on the things that aren't working for you and helping you realize you could be doing this a different way and be getting the results you wanted to, and perhaps you just hadn't considered that way yet. You know, as you strengthen your energy, which in some cases does mean cleaning up your diet or getting, some more sleep or exercise, but in most cases it's simply shifting the way you're feeling by recognizing what in your life isn't serving you. What are the tasks and activities that are either distracting you, taking away your mental focus, and taking you away from the feelings of engagement and joy, or whatever happiness means to you, whether that's confidence. If you want to work on your confidence, but you're focusing on all of the things that you've done wrong, your overall energy is going to sink, and you're going to show up and not be somebody that's presenting themselves as confidence, which is why your energy is so important. Moving on to your courage. A lot of people take courage to mean, okay, it's a physical action that I'm doing. I'm stepping up, I'm stepping in, or I'm standing my ground. But oftentimes where people struggle the most is, do you have the courage to have an open and honest conversation with those you love? With your family members, with your parents, with your spouse, your kids, Your coworkers? Your boss? Or do those things intimidate you? Do you wish things were better, but you don't know what to say? That's what I'm talking about when I say dial in your courage, is having the confidence to have a conversation with absolutely anybody because you're sure of who you are and what you're seeking, right? Your productivity is another key point in high performance, and that comes down to, are you working on the things that really matter the most in your life, or are you spending most of your day just shuffling things around, picking things up, putting them down with no real rhyme or reason? Meaning, are you getting to the end of your day saying, I don't really think I got anything done. I mean, I know I lived today, but what was the point of all of that, right? So when we're dialing in your productivity, it's either, for those of you who have a really set routine, it's trying to fine tune that, trying to see how we can sharpen it, trim the fat, trying to get more precision out of what you're doing. For those of you who are completely scattered, who have such a creative imagination, sometimes that just means, hey, let's focus on this one thing and make momentum, get some motion with it before we start bringing in something else. So that way you don't just become a jack of all trades or a jack of all projects, as I like to think about it. And the last thing is your influence on other people. Now, influence on other people, the way that I think about it and the way that I want you to think about it is simply, how are you communicating effectively with other people? Are you constantly meeting resistance and butting heads with people in your personal life and your professional life? Or are you finding that, hey, when you initiate conversations or when you present ideas, things flow as they should, as you thought that they would, or as you wanted them to turn out? That's a huge thing that comes down to whether or not you have good influence with your peers, with your superiors, with your subordinates, with your loved ones. All of that comes down to, are you effective in how you're communicating and getting intentional about that? So through my high performance coaching program, you are going to get enhanced clarity, enhanced courage, enhanced energy, greater levels of productivity, and greater levels of courage. You're going to learn how to generate them. You're going to learn how to experience them, and it's going to be heightened and sustained levels for you. So that way, when you go through your life, you are realizing, I got this, and it's a true confidence, not that false confidence. So the reason why I am the person who is the best coach for you is because I have been obsessed with how to do things better for my entire life. It's what I've been doing prior to coaching. Like I said, when I was on SWAT, it's all about dialing in and how can I perform this better? How can I take what's already good and execute it with even better precision? How can I go about it a new way so that way I'm not exhausted every time I show up? It's taking a look at your life and saying, okay, look, I've worked on all of those aspects of high performance for myself, and now it's my turn to show up for you and be that high performer for you. So what does that mean? That means for me, my number one objective is to show up with courage, because I'm gonna have to challenge you and get real with you sometimes in a polite, respectful, caring, compassionate kind of way, of course. But I'm gonna have to say, hey, look, I don't think this is working for you. Or you're gonna have to explain to me how this is working for you. And it's, some people call it that tough love. I just call it challenging, because you know, it's, you deserve the truth, and I'm gonna push you, guide you rather, lead you into seeing what your truth is, what the truth of your situation is, so that way you know, hey, am I doing this the best way? Is there a better way of doing that? And it takes a lot of skill and a lot of experience with confrontation for a coach to be able to deliver that. I guarantee you that. And that's where I'm really thankful for my career in law enforcement, because it makes me able to show up in stressful situations and coach people and communicate effectively, no matter how high the stakes are, no matter what the situation is in someone's life. I'm not gonna shy down. I don't back down. I'm gonna stand there. I'm gonna be strong for you. And when you say this is bad, I'm gonna say, let's take a look at it and let's move forward. So now's the best time to take action. Yep, right now. In fact, I wouldn't even be mad if you stopped listening to this video to go ahead and click that link below to say, apply here for enrollment. because I want you to get started, because I know that the best time to start anything is right now. And I know that because I am a master at getting inside people's minds to identify their doubts and their worries. And I know the more time that we spend away from something, trying to make that calculated assessment of whether it's good or whether it's bad, making that little line down the middle of the paper saying, this is why I should, this is why I shouldn't, then, you know, next thing you know, the kids are screaming and the boss is calling and the clients need you and you're hungry, and next thing you know, everything's put on the back burner. So I congratulate you if you're not even here watching this video still, because right now what you should be doing is applying for this coaching program, because there's a reason you're here, there's a reason why you're watching this, and if you are being led to get coached, it's because this is your time to get coached. So go ahead, click that link below, apply for that first coaching session, and let's get started.